Good morning, everyone. Sandra Madaffrey, nice to have you here on a Monday morning, and welcome to today's webinar. So I'm just going to wait a few minutes and wait for a few people to jump on and share my slides. Here we go. So let's get the sharing of the slides. Now, what I do every week is I do have a chat box here. So if you'd like to say anything or add a comment or ask me a question, please do use the chat box to do that. I'm going to now start the slideshow. Oh, here we go from the beginning. So welcome to my live webinar of Getting Clear for Your Business. Now, the reason why I called this Getting Clear for Your Business rather than Getting Clear on Your Business or in your business is because what I found in the last now almost 2 years of working with entrepreneurs and working with business owners, that it doesn't matter how much strategy you seem to have. It doesn't matter the strategies that you're taught and all those sorts of things. That a lot of the time it comes down to mindset, and I've really began to see how important it is as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, to actually have your mindset at a level that is conducive to you being able to then follow through with your strategies. So just to give you a few ideas about that, I often have clients that come into my 12-month program for entrepreneurs and you know, business owners, people who want to start their own business or take their business to the next level. And we find that all of a sudden, you know, they have all the strategies are all given to them through the, you know, through units and things like that, but they always seem to get stuck and they have problems with their mindset and don't take the strategies any further, or don't put what I would call their heart and soul into the strategies. And the reason for that is because they're finding it really difficult, I guess is the word, to get around their mindset to then be able to follow these strategies. Okay, so let's have a look at how you can get clear for your business, which is really important. And if anyone who's on this call would like to comment or ask me any questions, please pop it in the chat. If you're watching on Facebook, if there's a registration link, if you would like to come over to Zoom, please do so, and that way I can send you a copy of the video and you get to see the slides. So let's get started today. Again, welcome everyone who's on the call. So your business starts with you, and this is a little bit about what what this webinar is all about. Your business really does start with you. If you don't have the right mindset, the proper framework, you hold the proper filters within you to get this business off the ground, it doesn't happen. If you're holding any doubts whatsoever, anything about yourself, you know, any limiting beliefs, any things that you don't deserve it, any money mindset blocks, anything like that, it actually shows up in how you work on your business every day. And it shows up with things like overwhelm, procrastination, all those sorts of things. So if you don't have your mindset at, you know, an appropriate level that is conducive for you to believe in yourself and be able to move forward, unfortunately, what happens is you do not show up in that business and apply strategies and tactics that you're learned and taught. And there is so much information on the internet at the moment that you can find so many strategies and things to do. And sometimes, you know, just a little tweak in a strategy will actually get you a result. But what happens is the consistency, the able to keep it sustainable, the ability to keep it going is really important as well. And this is where a mindset as an entrepreneur really makes a big difference. So one of the first things I always ask people is to look at the business and think about what I say beyond the business. I always say, look beyond what you see and what do you really want? And when I say, what do you really want? The reason we go into business, yes, we go into business, especially as holistic therapists, coaches, practitioners, to help other people. But there's also something that we want from it. It gives us something. And that could be as simple as being able to make your own hours, to being able to create a business that gives you financial freedom. So one of the first things that you need to do when you start your business, or even if you've been in business for a while, one of the questions that you really need to reflect on and ask yourself is, what do you want from this business? What are you hoping this business is going to give you? Now, there's no right or wrong answer here. It is absolutely up to you what you want this business to give you. And it's important that you actually acknowledge and understand and know what that business, what you're starting the business for. Okay. Or even, I feel like every time we sort of take our businesses to the next level, even if it's not a new business, it's still almost like starting a new phase of that business. So what do you want it for? For what purpose? And the other question is, why are you here? So this is a little bit about your own purpose as to what is it that you want to achieve with this business? Why are you here for this business, and what is it that you want to do with this business? Because there's an intention behind every single thing that we do. So there's an intention behind why you want to start this business. And there's also an intention around why you want to be here. So what's your legacy? What do you want to do for the world? Okay, so when you're getting clear for your business, it's more about getting clear around your intention for the business and why you want to have a business and what you're going to gain from this. So let's move a little bit forward. I've got a few questions that you can reflect on that will help you create a business that flows with you, that's in integrity with you, that helps you work and create the business that you really want, which is completely aligned for you. So let's look a little bit closer at what do you want from your business. So for those who are on the call and can see the slides, look beyond what you see. A lot of things that people don't realize is that, we need to look beyond what we see, what we can actually perceive with our five senses. So what do you want from your business? Really sit and reflect. What are you hoping to achieve? What is it that you're going to get from this business? And this could be on many different levels. So we could be looking at something on a mental level, physical level, which would be more around that money. The mental is more around your thinking, of course. The emotional, what will it give you emotionally to be able to have a business, the business that you want? And spiritually, what will it do for you? And spiritually is all about the purpose and the higher reason as to why we're here. And have a think, what do you want your business to look like? A lot of people go into business and they go, they work 36 hours a day. I just actually saw a comment on one of my groups this morning about someone saying, I need to do this is their 36 hours in the day. But when you start a business, one of the things that I've found happen is that we mold ourselves around the business rather than molding the business to us. If you really sit and say, what hours do I want to work every day? What do I want from this business? What do I want this business to look like? Okay, it's really, really important that you can set and create your business with that intention in mind, to work a certain amount of hours every day, to see a certain amount of clients. Now, I was very, very, I did that. I sort of started my business and just, took clients in whenever and used to work 36 hours a day, literally. But now I mold my business around my clients. And if you start with what you want and how you want to live your life and how you want to create a business around you, then when you actually start taking action on your business and start booking appointments and things like that, what you'll see is that you will create a business that will work around you. And these days I do that. I don't see clients or really do anything on my actual business before 10 a.m. in the morning. I take Thursdays off. I take my weekends off. So, you know, what is it that you want from your business? Really, really important. And like I said, for what purpose? Your why. Why do you want the business? What is it that is sitting deep inside of you, inside your heart, that really wants you to create this business? The purpose of it, the reason. What do what is your why? And it is so important to know your why, because as entrepreneurs and business owners, sometimes things don't go exactly the way we want in business. That's just the nature of life. And if you forget your why, it's hard to keep going. So I highly recommend that you actually write your why down somewhere and you look at it every day. Everyone knows that's been watching me for a while that I have a really huge whiteboard in my office, which I just glance over and it's right there. And I have my why written across the top, and I look at it every single day. I have all my goals written on that too, but my why is really big. And something else that I'm going to show you today is written on that board as well. Okay. The other question you want to do is, we work quite a lot of hours during the day. Okay, we do work. It's our life. It's for most of us, it's our life purpose. We do need, not everyone, but a lot of us do need to work for financial, for the lifestyle that we want to create. But one thing we don't think about is, what do you love to do? A business that you create around what you love to do comes naturally. It makes your heart sing. You wake up in the morning and you want to jump in and do it. So what do you love to do? And looking at how you can create a business around the things that you like to do and what you've always loved to do is a way of showing up with that passion that you have had ever since you were a child. And that's why the next question is, what came naturally to you during your childhood? It's really interesting because in the last 24 weeks, I've done an intensive course in human design. And one of the things that I have found out around my human design is that I'm meant to teach. And I'm actually here for others, not for myself, which is really, really interesting. And I remember as a child, one of the things that came naturally was always helping others, and I wanted to do it. And I always wanted to teach people other things and wanted to teach, if I used to see something that I would think was very complicated, I wanted to teach people how to do it easier. And this is exactly what I do now. So go back and have a think. What came naturally to you during your childhood? What did you like to do or love to do that was just natural, that you didn't have to work hard at? And have a think about how you can incorporate that into your business, okay? The other thing is, what makes you happy? I hear so many entrepreneurs. I have an influx actually of entrepreneurs that work with me constantly, that come to me because they want to leave their jobs and start doing what they love to do and what makes them happy. So if you're doing something that makes you happy every single day, it's not a job. And that's how I feel every single day of my life. I love doing this. I love what I'm doing right now. I love sharing what's in, the knowledge that comes to me. And, it makes me happy. So I look forward to it. So, of course, my business runs with more flow and more ease because I'm happy. Okay. And when you find out what is it that makes you happy, is there any reason why you're not doing what you love right now? And we want you to have a look at, you ask yourself this question, not to look at it and go, oh my God, this is such a problem. Look at this problem. It's about the solution. So if you become aware of something, you become aware of why you're not doing what you love and why you're not doing what makes you happy, you can have a look at taking the steps to changing that and becoming or doing what makes you happy and what you love to do. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to focus on the solution, not the problem. Okay. So if you're doing or you're in a job that doesn't make you happy, find out what is it. And most of the time, 99.999% of the time, people are scared of, the insecurity, the risk taking that goes with starting your own business. But you know what? Instead of focusing on that problem, instead of focusing on a business you don't want to be in, or instead of focusing on a job you don't want to be in, instead of focusing on the risk taking, begin to focus on the solution, because 95% of what we do every day is done on an unconscious level. So if you're focusing on the solution that you want, the problem begins to disappear. Because what happens is our unconscious mind, number one, you activate the reticular activating system of the unconscious mind to start looking for things to give you the solution. Okay, so find out, become aware of what your fears are, what's keeping you stuck in that job, and it's time to begin to let that go, focus on the solution, not the problem. Okay. Now, usually we don't ask negative questions, but I think in this scenario, I think it's really, really, really important that you do ask yourself some negative questions. And guys, if anyone has any comments, please, I'd love to hear from you. So ask yourself, what don't you want to do? Sometimes because we are so programmed to know what we don't want to do, it comes a little bit more natural to us to be able to say, what don't we want to do? So I know what I don't want to do. I don't want to be working in a business that rules my life. I want a business that fits into my life. Okay. So what you want to do here is you want to find out what is it that you don't want, and then how can you flip it around and ask and put that statement in a different way, rephrase what you're saying. So like I said, if I say, I don't want a business that I have to work hard at. So then I'll rephrase it and say, I want a business that easily flows, which it does. Okay. Now, one of the things that I do is I teach you all the mistakes that I made. And these are all the mistakes that I made and all the things that I did and had to learn to change the way I think, because, which is my mindset. Because at the beginning, before I made all these mistakes, I really struggled. I had a really hard time with my business. I was not happy in it. I wasn't seeing clients that I enjoyed seeing. And that was because I didn't quite realize that what I was focusing on constantly was my problems rather than my solutions. So you bring the problem up for awareness only, and then you have a look at how you can change it. Because if you're not aware of something that you've got sitting within your unconscious mind, it's going to be really difficult for you to change. Okay. So what is it if you have got a business now, or if you're in a job hoping to change into a business, what makes you unhappy in your business right now? And once you can identify those things that are making you unhappy, how can you change them? This is the whole process here, is about how can you change them to do something that does make you happy. And one of the things that I did was I outsourced some of the things that I don't like to do. I have clients who also outsource some of the things that they don't like to do. The whole thing with a business is that as an owner of a business, as an entrepreneur, you need to know how to do something first, and then you can outsource it. And that also mitigates your risk management if the person you've outsourced it to leaves. Okay. So as I said, find out why, what makes you unhappy about this, go beyond the surface of it. What is it that you don't like about it? And then, you need to ask yourself, how can you change that? How can you shift around what it is that you don't like? And I go back to one of the clients that I had she actually came to me for mindset work, not business, but she did and owns a really great business, and she would not sell. She kept hiring salespeople, and we worked out that she had a fear of sales because she thought she was no good. It was actually a limiting belief. It wasn't once we removed the limiting belief that she thought she was not good enough to do this, she actually did start selling, because it wasn't something that she disliked. She actually loved representing her brand. It was just that she had this limiting belief that she was no good. Okay, so you need to find out why. Why does something make you unhappy? Don't just take it on surface value. Go deeper. And then let's have a look at how you can change it. And if it's something that you really, it doesn't align with you, you really don't like to do, fine, you can outsource it. But if it is something that is just being held there by a fear or a limiting belief, that can be changed as well. Okay, so find your solution on how you can change that. Okay. Ask yourself, what clients do you want to have? What kind of people do you want to work with? Okay. I know when we all first start working, and this is a little bit deeper than just a niche. When we first start working, we take on all the clients that come to us, because, you know, we're starting out, we want to work with everyone. But there would be a type of client that you would like to work with more. I love working with action takers. I like working with people that when I give them a task, or they jump into my mastermind and they see the units, that they start going through the units and taking action, and I love it. And every time I have clients that start taking action immediately, you know, and even my students that I teach, they take action immediately, things start to happen. So first of all, what problem do you wish to solve? So what is it that, I mean, that is your niche. You need to ask yourself, what problem do you want to solve? What is something that you would like to work with? What sort of clients do you want to work with? And go back to, what do you love to do? My passion is about working with other wellness practitioners, coaches, to mentor them to create their own businesses, because one of my passions, and this goes really deep and it goes, you know, community and global, is I want to see change, you know, a massive change in the world, and I can't do it on my own. Okay, so what problem do you want to solve? You need to get very clear on that, and you know, you need to be able to really tell yourself this is the one problem, and not work with everybody, because it really doesn't work. I've done other webinars on niches, and there's something coming up in my groups on niches in a couple of weeks. So, you know, but what problem do you wish to solve, and what characteristics do my clients have? This is really important. Like I said, action takers. I love action takers. Okay. You know, probably out of all the characteristics people can have, it doesn't matter if they're introverts, extroverts, doesn't matter what kind of business they have when it comes to wellness practitioner. It doesn't matter whether they want to get really, really huge and have, want to get to 7 figures, or whether they just want, $50,000 a year. That doesn't bother me. I just want action takers. That is a big thing for me. I want people that jump in and take action. I love it. I love seeing them take action, because I love seeing them succeed. Okay. And what kind of clients do you not wish to deal with? Okay. And this is as important as which ones do you want to deal with, because what you want to be doing is, again, it's not so that you focus on the clients that you don't want. It's just that you become aware of what you're not aligned to. Okay, so you need to ask yourself, what type of clients do you not want to deal with? And then, like we did in the slide before this, switch it around. What clients do you want to have? Okay. The other thing that is really, really important, and this goes back now totally and 100% to you as the entrepreneur. How do you want to show up in your business? It's really, really important that you ask yourself, how do you want to show up in your business? And one of the things that I do, and I have them written up on my board, is 3 words of how I want to show up every single day in my business. And this has been really interesting, because whenever I spend a little bit of time during the day and I stop and remind myself and look up my 3 words, which are integrity, authenticity, and best self. And whatever situations come up next, whether it's having to make a phone call, having to have a client see me, getting on a Zoom, or even getting on this webinar, before I start, I ask myself these three things. Am I being in integrity today? Am I being my authentic self? And am I showing up as the best self that I can possibly be at this moment? And if I know I'm doing that, I know that everything I do is aligned to absolutely my true self. So how do you find out these three words? And these actually came from a mentor of mine who got me to do this very early on, you know, when we were working together and for a little while. So I find it really important to have mentors and coaches all the time. So I'm always working with someone to keep me on my toes, basically. So we can do this right now. For those who are watching right now, if you're watching this on the replay, you can do it as well. Just close your eyes. And if you want to, you can place your hand on your heart and just take a couple of nice, big, deep breaths into that heart space. And just connect to who you really are, to your heart space, to your authentic self. And just ask yourself the first three words that pop up into your head of who you want to be or how you want to show up every single day. And write those three words down and make sure that you look at them every single day. And every time you need to make a decision, every time you're sitting there thinking, will I do this? Will I do that? Will I take on this client? Will I not take on this client? Will I do, you know, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Will I write this ebook? It doesn't matter. Everything that I do, I always ask myself those three words. And the funny thing about it was, I love this story. I had a lady who kept messaging me and giving me quite important messages. And I kept saying, I think you've got the wrong Sandra. I think you've got the wrong Sandra. And she still kept messaging me. And I thought, am I in integrity? Yes. Am I authentic? Yes. And then I thought, am I being the best self I can be? And I went, no. The best self I could be is to pick up the phone now and give her an actual call and get her to really understand that it's not the Sandra she thinks. And this lady ended up becoming my client. Now, I had no intention of that. It was just that when we got on the phone, she was like, I don't know why I've got your number in my phone. What do you do? And we started talking and she asked if I could help her out. So there you go, guys. What are your three words? I'd love to know if anyone, I can't talk today. I don't know what's going on. The people who are on this call, I would love to know what your three words are. If you want to pop them in the chat. If not, I would love you to reach out and let me know what those three words are. But get your three words, write them somewhere where you can see them, and write your goal where somewhere you can see them, okay? And in any given moment, ask yourself, am I being, and insert your three words. And you will be surprised when you come into alignment how much life changes for you. And if you're watching this on Facebook as well, because I do have this live on Facebook, I'd love to know your three words as well. So just quickly, I have been going through this in my groups this week, the Iki Guy, which is a Japanese concept of meaning, a reason for being. And if you can get that sweet spot, which is the Iki Guy in your business, it just takes you to a completely new level. And the Iki Guy is all about finding your purpose, what you love to do, as you can see here on the slide, what the world needs, what you're good at, so your skills, and what you can get paid for. And if you can combine and find a balance in those four things, you hit your sweet spot. And that is why you need to become clear around your business, because becoming clear around your business allows you to find that sweet spot of the Iki Guy. And it is absolutely an amazing feeling. So I'm not going to go into this. Like I said, if you'd like to know, I've gone into my group last week, and I'm still this week working with what this is all about and how we can find that sweet spot. Please let me know and I'll pop you in the group. So again, thank you for being here today. Authentic, kind, compassionate, unconditional. Beautiful. I love those words. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Write them down, and in any given moment, ask yourself, am I being authentic? Am I being kind? Am I being compassionate? You've got 4. You can put unconditional too. That's okay. You can have 4. In fact, I have more than 3, but they're my 3 top. And then, you know, as long as you're doing those 4 words, those 3 words, being the best you can be at any moment, being who you want to be at any moment, that is all you can ask for. So again, thank you so much for watching. You can find me, if you haven't already, on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. I have lots and lots of these videos on YouTube. Next week, I thought I'm going to start doing this because I keep forgetting what we're going to do next week. So this reminds me. Establishing growth routines for your business. Okay, so this is not establishing growth routines in your business. Like I said, I'm going on a little bit of a different tact for the next few weeks because I find that this is needed most of the time more than the strategies. The strategies come easy when you've got the right mindset. So I'm going to stop sharing, guys. Thank you so much for everyone who has been here. I'll send through a recording. I'd love to hear your comments. Please shoot back an email. Join my Facebook groups, and I would love to know a little bit more about you and how I can help you. If you have any questions, please, please, please reach out. I highly recommend that you do look at, I'm going to put the links of my 2 groups. I have a fabulous Business Women Empowerment group, and also have an Entrepreneurs Leading with Intention group, which is the entrepreneurs is for both male and female. And I would love to have you there. There's some great stuff that I've got coming up for those groups, including a niche challenge in a few weeks. That's all I'm going to say. I'll say a little bit more about that. So if you want to come over and be part of that challenge, please, please, please join one of the groups, and I'd love to have you and help you. Thank you. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being here. So I'm going to stop the share. Thank you, guys. Hope to see you again next week. Register. I will send the registration in the bottom of the email. So do register for next week, and have a great week. If you're in Melbourne, well done. 0-0. It's been a long time, guys. Really excited and looking forward to the next step. Thank you for watching. I hope to see some of you at 11 o'clock for virtual coffee catch up. This is going to be our last virtual coffee catch up for this in this format. I'm going to announce the new format for the group today. All right. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. Bye for now.